Hey guys, I'm Racing Chewy Side, and I got a video for you guys. It's a track guide for Pocono, and I'm also going to talk about the new build in the same video, so stick around after I talk about the complete lap of this track, and you're actually seeing one of those new things to do with the build right now, which is some effect. I did not add this. It came with some option you could turn on if you wanted. Anyways, we're just going to go through all the main topics of the build that I think are, main points to talk about. Anyways, let's go ahead and just take a look at this lap. Alright, so everything's with the fixed setup. Only thing I changed was the brake bias to 63% from 65, just to help me braking in one. So let's go ahead and do this lap. Alright, you can see I screwed up there, but I was a 53.5. So yeah, let's go ahead and bank this up. Alright, we're going to make our way into one. Let me fast forward this because it takes forever to get down this straight. You can see the turn one marker there. Well, the one braking marker, I should say. And there's a little Pocono black sign here you see right here and here. I'm braking in between that. A 50% brake. You can see I get on it kind of while I'm still on the throttle, but you get the point. We're going to hold that brake for a while because that's the only way to get the car to the bottom, it seems. And this is with the lower brake bias, not what the default set had, because that's just my preference. Anyways, once you get down to speed, it starts turning down. You're going to see me downshift at pretty much this point right here. See a little blip in the throttle? And that's just to get down to third gear because, well, it helps power out of the corners, it seems. Found it better than staying in fourth. But once you're down here to the curve, you can pretty much start getting back to the throttle. And you got to play with it because it starts to bounce around. Really bumpy down here. And being in third gear, it's just super loose. Coming out of the corners. You can see me fighting the car there. And you can see the red line. At that point, you're going to go from third gear to fourth gear. You could hear it right there. So, I don't know, the gearing's a little weird, so you kind of got to shift early. That can be changed in open setups, but this is for fixed. Anyways, we're going into the toughest corner, which I believe is turn 2, because it's just a tricky corner, and you can see, I don't know how to explain this properly. Alright, let me look. I think the way I explained this last year, you see this little, you can see a little hidden marker right there. No one really knows it's there until you, like, really look at it. It's hidden between all them trees. We're using that as a reference. I'm braking right after that, or when the safer barrier starts to, bulge out from the wall. That's where I'm getting on the brakes, and you kind of want to arc out and then in, sort of like you're seeing here. Again, using about the same amount of brake to get it to the bottom. Once it starts to roll, let it roll, then get right back on the gas once you hit the center of the corner. You can see pretty much what I did there. Staying in fourth gear, no shifting there. Now going into turn 3, we're going to do what we did in 1, downshift, but we're going to downshift a little bit later. Into the corner, like right there. So let me back that up because I kind of rushed through it. I just wanted to give you that a little example. So anyways, I'm braking after this Sprint Cup series thing, even though it's not Sprint Cup no more, it's Monster Energy, but pretty much what you saw in turn 2, braking before the safer barrier. So I'm getting on the brakes, driving it to the bottom. Stay away from that patch because it's useless. Again, using the brakes to get it to the bottom. When it starts to turn down, that's when you're going to downshift right there. Get it to the curbs again. And now here I got really loose again, playing with the throttle like you did in 1. Here it gets tricky on the way exit, as you can see there. I had to really fight with it, and that probably cost me a tenth or 2 right there. So I can probably get down to a 53.3 if I really wanted to. And fixed. And like I said earlier, it's going to be a 2. not really a two-part video, but it's going to be more than just a track guide. We're going to talk about the new build right after this, so if you want to stick around, go ahead. Alright, we'll start with the 2017 Xfinity low downforce specs that they now have for this season. For the actual NASCAR season, man, we got it this build, which actually really improves this car, makes it what you expect, the Cup car to drive like. It should be like this. It's a little bit tight, middle of the corner, which is to be expected given you have lower front downforce, but you also are looser on exit given you have lower rear downforce in these cars, which is basically the same level as what the Cup cars were last year, but whatever. Makes them more interesting, and they're kind of getting back to the way they used to be like 10 years ago. So it's cool that we got it, and to be honest, I think they did a better job introducing the low downforce package for this car compared to what they did with the Monster Energy Cup car. So here you can just see a little interior of that, one of these laps where it's just showing basically what I was talking about. So while that's going on, I'll just pretty much say something about what else we're going to talk about. There's a whole bunch of other minor changes, increased tire wear for one on the Cup cars, but the two big topics are coming up, and that has to do with two new cars, and that's pretty much what we're going to talk about. I only got to buy one of these, so it's going to be what's next. So it'll be the 2017 Ford GTE car. And there's also a Ferrari. I don't have any footage for that because I don't have the car, so I can't, comment on how it drives. But this car is pretty cool, and the sounds they've actually done a pretty good job on, in my opinion. So this car, it's not a GT3 car. It's not a GT1 car. In fact, it's not even a GTLM car. It's just a GTE or something like that, which is slightly different than a GTLM, even though they can run similar pace. But this car I compare to a GT1 here on iRacing for the fact is it has plenty of downforce for what it is, but it just doesn't, have as much to say what the GT1's got. It's a little bit slower than that, but still, pretty fun car. Looks pretty sharp. Now, the paint's just your typical paint they use for, the actual cars. That won the 2016 24 Hours of Le Mans, and how did they win Daytona 24? I don't remember who won the 24 hour over here, but that's why I'm driving is Daytona, because it's an American race car. Might as well take it to an American racetrack. I would have taken it to Le Mans, but everybody's doing that. It just seems too cliche. I'm not going to fall in that crowd. How does it drive? Well, like I said, it's like a combination of GT3 and GT1. There's no ABS, so that's part of the GT1, but it has like a two-stage traction control, so you can really feel that when you're leaving the pits. Pretty much all the three so far. 4. But yeah, I think it's awesome. Now we're going to go to an in-car shot here. Now, here's one thing you'll notice, the mirror on the right, one of those digital display mirrors, which is awesome. I think every car needs one of those, but you'll notice a little light here on the dash, and down there under the mirror. It's kind of weird that both, but you'll see a little purple, like, shine through right there. That's indicating one of your wheels are about pretty much locked up, or they're going to be locked up. Or you're sliding one of those tires somewhere. And you'll see it again here in the corner, but that's pretty much all we're going to talk about. There's many more changes, just look it up on iRacing.com. Anyways, that's going to be it for me for this video. I'm going to let you enjoy the sounds of the car. So yeah. Anyways, Emerson Chewy side.